Imagine living in a country where your neighbors suddenly become your enemies. A war where brothers fought brothers, families were torn apart, and more than 620,000 lives were lost. This wasn't a war against another nation. It was Americans fighting Americans. But what could possibly divide a country so deeply? In the next 5 minutes, you'll discover the true story of the American Civil War, the conflict that changed the United States forever. Before the war, America was growing rapidly, but the North and the South were becoming very different. The northern states were building factories, railroads, and large cities. Their economy depended on industry and paid workers. The southern states relied on farming, especially cotton. Millions of enslaved African Americans were forced to work on plantations, and the southern economy depended heavily on slavery. As the country expanded westward, one question became impossible to ignore. Would slavery spread into the new territories? People argued fiercely. Politicians fought over the issue for years. The nation became more divided with every debate. Everything changed in November 1860, when Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States. Lincoln believed slavery should not spread into new states. Many Southern leaders feared this would eventually end slavery altogether. Soon after Lincoln's victory, 11 Southern states decided to leave the United States. They formed a new country called the Confederate States of America, led by Jefferson Davis. The remaining states stayed loyal to the Union under President Lincoln. The nation was now split in two. On April 12, 1861, Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter in South Carolina. The Civil War had officially begun. At first, many people believed the war would last only a few months. They were terribly wrong. For 4 long years, soldiers fought some of the bloodiest battles in American history. One of the most important battles was the Battle of Antietam in 1862, the single bloodiest day in American military history. Although neither side won a clear victory, it gave Lincoln the confidence to announce the Emancipation Proclamation. This historic order declared that enslaved people in Confederate-controlled areas were to be freed. It also changed the purpose of the war. The conflict was no longer only about keeping the country together. It had become a fight against slavery. In July 1863, another turning point came at the Battle of Gettysburg. After 3 days of brutal fighting, the Union defeated Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Historians consider Gettysburg the turning point of the war because the Confederate Army never fully recovered. At the same time, Union forces captured the city of Vicksburg, gaining control of the Mississippi River and cutting the Confederacy in half. Slowly but steadily, the Union gained the advantage. In April 1865, after years of hunger, destruction, and enormous losses, General Robert E. Lee surrendered to General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia. The Civil War was finally over. Just days later, tragedy struck once again. President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated while attending a play in Washington, D.C. The nation mourned the leader who had guided it through its darkest years. The Civil War left the United States forever changed. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery across the country. The South faced years of rebuilding during a period known as Reconstruction. Although the Union was preserved, the struggle for equality and civil rights would continue for generations. Today, the American Civil War remains the deadliest conflict in U.S. history. Its lessons about freedom, unity, and equality continue to shape America even more than 160 years later. If you enjoyed learning this incredible piece of history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and join us for more fascinating stories from the past.